Okay, shalom shalom. First and foremost, let's say Kalim La Yahweh Bashim Yashah Bashim Akakadash. Double honest the elders and apostles, the great Muslim GMS, do rule and teach well. See my brother here. Shemash Ramban Yahweh, another video. And if I didn't say it already in my last couple videos, forgive me if my voice is a little like off or whatever, and like I'm just kind of clogged up. My nose like clogged and got like a head cold, whatever. Which it's just demons messing with you and things like that. But the cold, the ailment is he's going away. I'll make sure to get a lot of extra sleep, and try to rest up because, got work to do on Sunday, but it's pretty far out from camp, so I'm good. It's in kind of like the later in the day, so I know it's not going to interfere with my camp days, even my schedule. When I go to like a normal work day, my schedule is pretty much set in stone or whatever. It's pretty much still not gonna get in the way of camp. I'll always be able to camp and still camp on the same day. So Dawadi Hal Bashim Yoshai, because I was really scared I'd have to camp at night, which is not really the best idea. Honestly, I'd rather look for a different spot than to camp at night, because camping at night is not it, especially if you're by yourself. It's really not a good idea. If you have 2 or 3 brothers, perfect. You can camp whenever you want, but if you're by yourself, don't camp at night. Save yourself. The pressure. So this is Matthew, verse. I'm not gonna get into all this, but you can read up ahead to get more of the background. So John 5:7, right? Then both the man answered him and said, "Sir, I have no man when the water's troubled to put me into the pool, but while I'm coming in, I stuff down before me." Right? Because an angel went down to season this pool and pretty much touched it. Troubled the water. Well, didn't necessarily to touch it, but if you step in it, you'll be cured, right? And see about a sheep market in Jerusalem, right? There's a pool there where this, takes place, right? John 5:8, Yahshua saith unto him, Arise, take up thy bed and walk. That's an interesting video idea. I wonder what happened to this pool. What happened to this pool after during 70 AD? I wonder what the Romans did to it. Did they fill it up with cement? Well, whatever. I think they had cement back then. Did they figured out how to make that stuff? I think isn't it just like minerals and like fucking water or some shit? I don't know. I don't know about how to make that stuff from materials or building materials. I never worked a construction job. It's a good thing to know, but I never worked construction. So I have no idea at all. But I think they did have cement back then. They could make it, if I'm correct. I don't know. I know they made bricks and stuff. Yahshua say unto him, Rise, take up thy bed and walk. Immediately the man was made whole, took up his bed and walked on the same day of the Sabbath. The Jews therefore said unto him that was cured, right, which they're Israelites. Right, everyone here is Israelites, right? Because this is what I'm thinking about. Yeah. So Isaiah 14, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. Strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. This is all talking about, Israel. Okay? The strangers are Israelites. They're just Israelites that were following, heathen traditions, but were brought back in, right? They were cleaved and grabbed it back in like it talks about in Romans 11. And Yahushua talked about it too. He called himself the branch, the vineyard, the branch, something like that. In the book of John, I remember reading about it. I made a video about it too. But basically that's what that's talking about. It's like nowadays, like I have a cousin, right? And like my cousin, like he went off to school and whatever, right? And like, he started, following a bunch of other shit, right? And we pretty much lost contact with each other. He started to focus a lot on like drawings shit, and I'm pretty sure he became gay, but I don't really know. And basically like a few times that I did see him, like before I was in the truth, he basically became alienated, right? And that's how you become alienated from the truth. Well, how you become alienated, not from the truth, how you become alienated from your people, even on a carnal sense. Or say like even if you have like a friend or something, right? So-called friend, where we don't have friends in the world, right? Absolutely not. But let's just say you have a friend, right? And then your friend, this shit that probably you guys could probably relate to this, right? You have a friend, right? And you guys are like cool in middle school, right? He goes to like a different state for like high school or whatever, right? Or maybe high school, and then he goes to college around there. And then maybe years later, you see him again, right? Even though it's not family, but it's the same thing, right? He becomes different, right? Maybe his accent sounds different. Maybe the way he speaks and carries himself is different. He's not really into the same shit, that he was into back when you knew him. It's the same thing, So that's what happened to these Israelites, right? They were basically jakes that, were basically scattered there. Some went there of their own free will, right? Some were scattered and forced to go, across the different captivities. They just stayed, right? And they took up a local language. They chose wives of the heathen, and they just started chilling there. And then when they saw him again, right? Like if we talk about the New Testament, by that time period, Jake was following the Greek shit heavy. So, the Jakes they didn't know how to speak Hebrew. They didn't know a lick of Hebrew. They didn't even know the Hebrew alphabet. They knew Greek, right? And some, which, they had different ones. I think you got Helen and Hellenistus. And then I can't remember the difference. I think Hellenistus didn't know that they were Jakes. But whatever the case may be, they spoke a different language. They forgot about Hebrew, and then they probably had long hair, right? And and some probably had baldies. Some were probably like former athletes, former wrestlers, former this, former that, really into that stuff. So their garments could have looked differently, And then, they come into the truth, and then you learn, like, maybe they have a shaven face, Same things today. So we don't speak Greek, right? Verse 10, and we're on the other side of the world, right? Do you say, for since him that he was cured, it was 7 days, now therefore lawful for thee to carry thy bed. He answered them that made me whole. He answered them, he that made me whole, sent to me, take up thy bed and walk. The next in it, right, because Yahushua is Lord of the Sabbath, right? The next to him, what man is that which saith unto thee, take up thy bed and walk? And he that was healed was not who it was. Yahushua conveyed himself away, a multitude being in that place. Afterwards, Yahushua found himself in the temple and said, behold, thou art made whole, sin no more, lest the worst thing come unto thee, right? And, it's what made me maybe pretty much think about, no, maybe it's the 5th one. Maybe it's 6. Okay, hold on. It's what the hell? No, man. Go back. I did not mean to click that. Propitiation, which means basically forgiveness. Propitiation. Propiti. Propit. Propit. Propiti. Propitiation. Propitiation. Yeah. So this is Sirach 5. And 2. We'll start here. I start with 1. Set the heart upon my goods and say not, I have enough for my life. Right? We know that love of money is the root of all evil. Right? Because loving money, loving your goods, keeps you away from the Heavenly Father. It means you're loving the world, more than you love the Heavenly Father. You're setting your mind on things below, not things above. You're setting your mind on things below and not above. And the scriptures talk about that too in the New Testament. I think it's in Matthew. It's probably in Luke. It's the same thing over and over and over again, basically. Some differences, some extras, but basically it was talk about where your heart is, your mind is also. So like if you put your heart and soul into this world, then that's where your eyes and that's where everything is going to be. But if you set your mind above, then you're going to reap those heavenly benefits. We know that not to be righteous, things like that, and we're not in the same position. We're not in our land, so you can't sell your house and shack up at another brother's house, and live with other brothers. It doesn't work like that no more. You're not gonna be able to live that life like we had in the New Testament. It's just not gonna work. Which I don't know if this is really true, but I'm pretty sure that's where these communists got their ideas from. They just read the scriptures. Because people always say, communism is really close to things that happen with Christianity and the way things are running Christianity. Which, yeah, I mean, it is a form of communism we did. We shared everything amongst ourselves, and that was pretty much what it is, and that was the system that was, able to work back then, and nowadays we still do, have a system kind of like that, even though we don't, some brothers share the houses with each other and things like that, but, it's not 100% the same. We're not in our homeland. Verse 2, follow not thy own mind, thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart. See not who shall control me from my works, for lo, surely revenge thy pride, right? Because we know that, free will does not exist, and, no one's gonna, saying, oh yeah, I'm the author of everything, I can control my own stuff, no one's gonna tell me what I can't do, Verse Ecclesiastes 8:11, I forgot about this one. Because sentence against evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of sons of men is fully set in them to do evil, right? But, judgment will come, judgment will come. See not, I have sinned, harm has happened to me. For the Lord is long suffering, he will no wise let thee go, right? Separate. Let me see if I could find it. If I could find it, it would be great. This is the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 30. Yeah. Who shall separate us from the love of Yahushua Mashiach? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword, right? Nothing will separate you, right? So nothing's going to separate you from the Father. Nothing will separates you from the Son. You know, of course, if you're the elect, right? Like we hear about all this stuff. You know, it's going to talk about, if it possible, you should see the very elect. Yeah, that doesn't apply to you. You know, Llewellyn. You know, we're the elect. Those brothers out there pushing, sincere brothers out there pushing, watching the videos, following the order, you know, really trying to, you know, grow, you know, trying to be a workman and if not be ashamed, and not like cruising basically and just bringing out, you know, the same precepts and not growing in the spirit. You know, you don't want to be like that. You want to grow. You want to be able to bring out more. You know, I was watching, you know, the Apostle Gabar talk about that too. He was like, you know, if you really want to get right, man, you gotta, you know, get you that Bible with the precepts on it. You know, which I already knew about that. That was nothing new. I want to continue watching the video for more, but that's good. You know, use that and you can highlight it and it helps you. You know, it's also good to, you know, if you get the King James like I'm using right here, then you can put it in the King James and you can put it in the Bible. And then before you know it, you'll fill out, you know, a whole bunch of things. And, you know, you'll just be able to go at camp. So, yeah, precept right there. Let's go to that, you know. And it'll help you, you know. So when you're out there, you just, you know, go ahead and grab it. Right? Concerning propitiation, be not fear without fear to add sin unto sin. Right? It's one thing if you sin without knowing, right? Or if you're struggling with something and, you know, you basically sin through like a lapse of judgment, a lapse of a lapse of paying attention or whatever. You know, that's one thing. You know, but don't be like these people in the world, and, you know, they do shit and say, "Oh, well, God will forgive me." You know, when the MOTB comes out, you know, that's what these people are gonna say. "Oh, no, well, it's a sin. It's the mark of the beast." Oh, even if it was, God will forgive me for it. You know, and then it's like, what? You know, like, no, bro. Actually, even with this concerning forgiveness, man. Propitiation, forgiveness. Okay, concerning that, right? The only thing that will not be forgiven under all circumstances is if you take the MOTB. You know, and sometimes mercy is great, right? Mercy, right? Unless you take the MOTB, right? Which he still has great mercy because, you know, if you're in Israelite, you'll come back in the kingdom, right? But on this side, no mercy is allowed to you if you take the microchip, because you know, I mean, it's pretty clear that is the MOTB, you know. And if you're, you know, made for that, right? The Lord hath reserved the wicked to the destruction. If you're reserved for destruction, I mean, you will have that destruction. I mean, it's gonna come to you one way or another, you know. Like is it Jeremiah? You know, the day of the Lord will be as if maybe it's in Amos 5. You know, as if a man fled from a serpent and the fire hit him or something, or he fled from one thing and then another thing came and killed him. You know, so there's gonna be that final destination type destruction, like brothers always talk about. You know, which, you know, does happen. Like even on the news, I read about saw an article, Howard Beach. Was it? No, Howard Beach is flooding. Right, I don't know if anyone's dead, but I think was it South Brunswick, New Jersey? I think that's a pretty nice area, if I'm correct. I know North Brunswick is pretty solid. I knew a kid in school, Moabite, you know, who lived up there with his family and shit, and he had a fucking mansion and shit up there, man. You know, because out there in North Jersey, that's the good part. You know, like a lot of the southern areas are, you know, pretty much dog shit. and I know like Newark has a bad rap. I don't know if it's like that bad, but these certain areas are like bad, but I don't know, man. I know that like people talk about Brownsville. Like Brownsville is bad. I mean, but it's not like there's certain areas you could walk through and you'll be perfectly fucking fine. Like it's not like people try to make it out to be like you walk there, you're instantly gonna die. You know. I mean, if you fuck around, you will find out. Right. So Ecclesiastes, Sirach 5 and 6, his mercy is great. He will be pacified from multitude of my sins. For mercy and wrath come from him. His indignation rests upon sinners. Right. So, man, I want to talk about this. Maybe another video. I'll talk about this in another topic, but little one, yeah, if I